Why am I so tired? Did you ever catch yourself asking yourself that question? If so, I'm going to share 3 odd reasons you're probably not thinking about in this video. Hey guys, Yuri Alkaline here, New York Times bestselling author of the All-Day Energy Diet, holistic nutritionist and health expert, and the man to help you live a healthier, fitter, and more prosperous life. And as I said, I'm going to show you 3 reasons why you might be getting a little more tired than you'd like to be. And I'm not going to talk about sleep. Now, a lot of people talk about sleep, and yes, sleep is greatly important to feeling more energetic. If you're not sleeping well at night, you're going to, pass off throughout your days. Believe me, I've got a 4-year-old who doesn't like sleeping very well, and by the time we pick him up from school or camp, he's toast. So I understand that first and foremost and firsthand, and I've experienced what low energy feels like. For 20 years of my life, I was sleeping 14 hours a day and still feeling tired. And I needed to figure out what was going on. So beyond sleep, here's some things you need to consider. So first and foremost, one of the things that compromises our ability to feel energized is the acid-alkaline balance in our body, and specifically the acid-alkaline balance in our blood. Now, if that's way over your head, let me make it simple for you. If you remember back to high school science class with the pH scale and probably chemistry or whatever, one side was acidic, one side is alkaline, 7 is neutral, right? So acidic is like stomach acid, car battery acid, stuff like that, which is not what we want. 7 is neutral, and our blood needs to be slightly higher than 7, so about 7.4 roughly. That's important because in order for you to feel more energized, your body requires oxygen. And assuming you're breathing and getting oxygen coming in to your lungs, that oxygen then jumps into taxi cabs called your red blood cells, and those red blood cells carry the oxygen throughout the blood. Now, here's the dilemma, is that when your blood is too acidic, which is what happens in most people's cases because they're eating a standard American diet, which is very acidic. So a lot of animal products, processed foods, lots of sugar, lots of junk like that. Those are all foods that make your blood sluggish. What they do, it's kind of like driving on the highway during rush hour. It's not actually called driving, it's called sitting, right? So all the red blood cells, all the taxi cabs are stuck together and no one's moving. So if we're trying to get oxygen to your cells to produce energy, that can't happen very well. But if our blood is alkaline, which it should be, what ends up happening is it's kind of like driving at 2 in the morning where there's like, vroom, vroom, like no problems, no traffic, it's all good. And that's what happens inside your blood. So in order to establish an alkaline environment inside your body, which is also the most important thing to prevent and heal disease, you have to be getting more vegetables in. You have to be greening up your diet. Green equals alkaline, okay? So the more greens you get in, so for instance, from green vegetables, greens powders, green juice, green smoothies, all that stuff, that's all gonna be very essential to helping you do that. That's the first thing. So, are you too acidic? I'm gonna show you how you can determine that in just a few moments. Second, you might also be dealing with something called adrenal fatigue. So adrenal fatigue is something that is very prevalent but undiagnosed in a lot of people because most medical doctors laugh at this concept because they say, well, there's no scientific studies for it, which is complete nonsense because if you go to any naturopathic doctor, they will tell you this is a big deal and they will actually do a salivary hormone panel and show you that, hey, you know what, your hormones are toast as it pertains to the adrenal glands. So the adrenals are 2 walnut-shaped glands. They sit on top of your kidneys, and their basic job is to help your body deal with stress. When a bear jumps out of the forest and you're on a hike, you're like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. That's the fight or flight response. That's an acute stress, and your body is wired to fight or run away. That's great. But the problem is that in today's day and age, that same response is happening every single day throughout the day for most people. Stress at work, financial stress, emotional stress, relationship stress, whatever it is, all of that becomes chronic. And that wears down the adrenals. And when they're worn down, you feel really sluggish when you get out of bed in the morning. You feel really sluggish after any type of emotional upset. If you're any kind of like, if you end up yelling or getting into an argument, you feel exhausted afterwards. You feel lightheaded when you're going from a laying position to a standing position, and your body just doesn't deal with stress very well. And that's because the adrenals are toast. So in that case, you need to calm things down and just chill out for a while. And I've got some other videos on adrenal fatigue, and you can obviously refer to those. But for here, I want to let you know that adrenal fatigue is something that you may want to cue into. I'm going to give you a cool little test right now to determine if you have adrenal fatigue, okay? What you're going to need is a flashlight and a dark room. So you're going to go into the bathroom, dark room, it has a mirror. You're going to close the lights so it's pitch black. And what should happen there is that your eyes will dilate. They're going to dilate to allow more light in so you can see, right? That's kind of how night vision works. Then what you're going to do after about 30 seconds, you're going to turn on your flashlight at a 45-degree angle to your eye, nice and close. Look in the mirror, and what you're going to see is the dilation becomes constriction. Your pupil is going to constrict because now you have a flood of light coming in, which is a stressor. So the adrenal glands are going to pump out adrenaline and cortisol, and that's going to constrict the muscles around your eyes like that. And it's also done because you have light coming in, so you don't need as much dilation, right? Does that make sense? So now you're going to look at your eye. You're going to continue looking at your pupil for the next 30 seconds. What should happen in a healthy case is that the pupil should stay constricted for 20 seconds or more. But you'll find, if you're like most people, which is nothing to be ashamed of, your pupil will start constricted and then it'll start to pulse. It'll start to dilate a little bit. And that's an indication that the adrenal glands are a little bit fried. So if it happens very quickly, you're toast. If it happens between 10 to 15 seconds, that's a little bit of a warning sign. And if you can last longer than about 20 seconds in a constricted state, your adrenals are in good shape, okay? Now again, if you want help with this, I've got a really cool resource for you. It's actually a book I'm giving it to you for free. It's called Fix Your Fatigue, and I'll show you how you can overcome these issues inside that book, okay? You can grab it at the link in the description. We'll also post a link on the video towards the end. And finally, the third reason you might be tired, this is very common as well, is you have low thyroid function. This you might be aware of, maybe not, but the thyroid is right here. It's the master metabolism gland. It basically dictates how you feel. And what it's going to dictate as well is the amount of growth and repair and metabolism that's taking place in your body. And if your body is, stressed out and tired, your brain, your hypothalamus, your air traffic control is going to send a signal to the thyroid to say, you know what, I'm not too sure about our future here. We need to ensure our survival. So I need you to slow things down a little bit because we're unsure of the safety of our own existence. That's a very primitive way of thinking about it, but that's how our brain operates. So anytime you're chronically stressed, that's the signal that's gonna be sent to the thyroid is, hold on, we're unsure of the future because your brain's sole purpose is survival, okay? If survival is threatened, as would be the case in chronic stress, even if it's at work, for instance, your body is going to slow down to conserve energy. It's not going to be like, hey, let's go expend some calories. So low thyroid function is a big problem. And the thyroid, if it's low, if it's not churning, if the fire isn't burning, you're going to feel a little bit cold, your hands and feet, right? You're going to feel sluggish. You're going to have a tough time losing weight. You're going to have hair that's starting to fall out. Okay, these are all signs of a sluggish, slow metabolism as a result of lower thyroid function. So those are three things that might be holding you back from having the energy that you want and really kind of keeping you tired. Again, if you want help with this and you want to kind of get to the root of it, strongly suggest grabbing my book, Fix Your Fatigue. The best part is absolutely free. You can download it today at the link somewhere on this video or in the description below, and it will greatly assist you in helping deal with these three issues. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who's tired as well, who needs a little bit more vitality in their life, and remember to subscribe to the channel. We've got hundreds of other videos to help you live a healthier, fitter, and more prosperous life. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this energizes you a little bit more, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.